All right, my name is Jeremy. Let me flip this around, make sure it's working. I just recorded a whole bunch of nothing. Actually, I didn't record anything at all. My name is Jeremy. I own Parts Breakers, aka Jeeps Unlimited. We are a 7-acre Jeep junkyard, a Jeep used parts yard. We're located here in western Colorado. We used to be north of downtown Denver, Colorado. We moved over here in 2018, and we're about to do a road trip to the the West Coast. We just came back from the East Coast in March. And when I get a more reliable vehicle, I'll head further out east as well, coming this fall in Midwest and whatnot. But for this trip, we're heading from western Colorado, that's Grand Junction, Colorado. We're going to be heading through Utah, so we'll hit up Moab, St. George, um, Cedar City, all the little towns in between along I-70, and then eventually 15. We'll get through Mesquite and then Vegas, and then we'll head out through, I think it's Barstow, and all the way out to the West Coast. We're going to end up in San Luis Obispo, and possibly the same route on the way back, so if I don't catch you on the way out. Although the parts yard is here in Grand Junction, and my vehicle I have right now is a box truck and a trailer, so space is limited. I love doing these. They allow my wife and I to meet, and we have all our employees here. So there'll be full support back here in case you miss this trip. Anything small or even freight items we ship out daily. So I'm gonna flip it around. I just wanted to see who you're working with. I got to keep this video kind of short, 600 megs. I don't have no idea how long it is. This is our front messy yard right now. This is just the current dismantles that we did this last week and our cleanup and whatnot. So let me walk you back, okay? This goes back to kind of where the magic starts to happen with our pallets. We got some dismantle stuff over here. Anything that comes off the vehicle ends up on in a crate or a pallet until it ends up on the shelf. Back of our garage, I'm going to show you the shop right now because stuffed with all the broken trucks we have as far as our shop trucks that are down right now. And then, yeah, we got our radiators and fan shrouds. And then we have, we do Duramax, or we do diesels every once in a while. Right now we have two. One really low miles, LB7, that's got 118K. That's got the matching Allison transmission. The transfer case is already on the shelf. And then the one next to it is an LLY out of an '05. And that one's got 170 on it, 178 I think is what that guy got. Both ran and drove on them, so got some diesel stuff. Here's our shed full of heater boxes and dashes. These are YJs, CJ7s, CJ5s, sound bars, door panels. Got a couple TJ dashes in here. Well, we got consoles. Again, heater boxes, AC boxes for conversions. Here's some more consoles, sound pods. Okay, and then we got our yard. 7 acres. I tell people that, and then they don't grasp it, and they see it. So, so this is a good opportunity if you want to meet me in person or meet Kira. She's probably going to be alongside of my 2-year-old, although they might be flying. It's kind of hard on him to drive these long trips, but at some point he'll be with us on this trip, so you might be able to meet us all. Otherwise, you'll definitely be meeting me. And yeah, so obviously we got a slew of things out here. Some mainly in these first couple rows got a lot of Grand Cherokees, a couple Comanches, stuff like that. And then you get further back into our Wranglers, CJ7s, CJ5s. I don't know if you can see all the way back, but if not, check out our website. I put up some cool photos too. And in the very, very back lot, way back there, we have our non-Jeep lines, which is just odds and ends we buy, vans, some projects we work on, whatnot. So got a couple YJ Wranglers. We got 3 of those that just came in a couple days ago, and then like 4 more that came in a week before. So good inventory there. A lot of these totes out here are filled with bell housings. These are what you call, in a sense, I was going to say non-perishable, but they're really not non-perishable. They're let's just put it this way, they don't get affected by the weather. They're not electronics, stuff like that. So things that would go otherwise outside of the Jeep is how we store that stuff. We just cleared this guy. This is actually going to be our new engine room with all, so we can put everything. And behind that guy there, just a real quick peek here. These crates are about to go inside of there. There's a whole bunch of these guys here. I got 8 of them. They're brand new, like less than 200 mile, 3.6 Penastars out of 2018 to 2022. Pretty sure those will work in JKs, but haven't done it ourselves yet. And compatibility, they say they don't, but the engines are identical. I think it's just the intakes and stuff they changed on them. Anyway, those things were Hellcat conversions, so I kid you not, some of those are posts online. You can see them, how clean they are. There's not a drop oil on them. They also have the matching 8-speed automatic transmissions that they were putting out in those. Some pretty cool conversions that a few of the, I think it's ATS, a few other companies are coming up with those now for you to convert into those, which is supposed to be a really good transmission, 8-speed, help you with some fuel mileage, and supposed to be super strong. So again, here's some seat brackets, air boxes, whatnot, miscellaneous stuff. We kind of just put, a lot of this stuff was mishmashed over the years since we moved back in 2018. We finally, my wife has been working her butt off, and she's gotten this really cleaned up. We got some engine brackets and manifolds that are kind of left out here right now, but she's got it all sorted, and as you can see, it's about to go to the shelf. We got some new shelving going up over there. Tons of drive shafts, tons of these, and we check the U-joints out. It's usually a good idea to replace them. A lot of the caps and stuff will be missing, but the drive shaft itself, straight, rust-free, stuff like that. Intake, so some upgraded intakes there, all factory. Some harder to find, some of the old 4-cylinder intakes a little harder to find there. Backing plates, let's see, coil springs, fuel tanks, gas tanks, some of those are really hard to get. And then we got our axle rack, which is not even half of our axles that, unfortunately, not all of them are racked. They're kind of back in my axle pile. Slowly but surely I'm going through. Anything that's on these racks have been inspected. Diff covers drain, or diffs drain, pop the covers, inspect the gears, make sure there's no broken teeth or excessively worn teeth, clutch pedal assemblies, transfer case shifters, brake cables, dash panels, and more of those guys. Those are the aluminum ones, come out of JK, spare tire carriers, oddball suspension components that we save, transmission mounts, pretty much you name it, we got it. And that's really my point showing this video. I'm sure I'm over the limit, and that's going to be a bummer because I really wanted to get this posted. Facebook's doing a new thing where we can post videos. Super cool. Excited to see that. I've actually never done that yet. I posted videos, but never to an ad. And I just think it gives you guys the buyer's trust that so many people lack these days. We got tons of wheels. This isn't even a quarter of them. And then you got bumpers, side steps. What else here? This cool stuff. Fenders. So a lot of our fenders are out here. Some doors, grills, tailgates. Let's see. Sliders from some of the Rubicons we've done over the years. And then you got gas tank skids. Some of the stuff along the hillside are lower grade stuff that we tend to keep out in this area. There is a Comanche tailgate. It's kind of banged up, but those are really hard to find. Belly pans, cross member skid plates, all these things are really clean. And some of those are still, we just haven't gone through them. And since we're in the high mountain desert here, very little moisture, unfortunately. But fortunately, it keeps everything, nice and preserved and stuff. So a lot of the steering columns you see out here are non-Jeep steering columns. So, it always doesn't hurt to give us a shot. And you might see something here and I might tell you on the phone I don't got it. You're like, oh, I seen it in the video. Well, that's why I do these. So lots of hoods. Let's see, that one's going to be our steering steering components. We're getting that set up right now. So our gearboxes, everything like that will be nice and protected inside. Technically, it's an outside part, so we could put it outside as long as they're plugged, but I just like to be on the safe side. A lot of that kind of stuff we like to see, don't want to get them worn out. And then, okay, so again, I'm probably way over my video time, but who cares at this point? So this for right now is our engine transmission room. This is soon to be only transmissions because we're kind of pushing our limit on how much we can fit in here. So got a couple core blocks. All these are good trannies that you got through here. These are all automatics. We got some JK autos in here, I think, and then some late TJ autos, so that's kind of cool. There's a manual NSG 370 6-speed manual right there. And I believe that's TJ, but I believe I have a JK one as well, or I have one or the other right now. Got some good 4 liters, real low miles. I got a couple that have under 100K right now. Got a couple 0506s. Those are super hard to find. They're only 0506. This is really dark in here, so I apologize. Got some Mustang and Cummins stuff back there. Some old Fox body Mustangs. I enjoy those as well. Transfer cases. MP 231s, 242s, 247s, 249s. 241s, JKs, non-Rubicon. I don't have any Rubicons at the moment, but sometimes I get those in. NV 3550, NV 2550. That's a 4-cylinder version of that guy. Peugeot BA10, T176, AX5, another T176. That looks like a T14 possibly, or 150. There's another manual there. So I do have one. There's an NSG 370, another one of those. That's another 6-speed. Actually, this might be a 4-cylinder NSG 370. Super, super hard to find. That's a 4-cylinder NSG 370. AX15s, I got 3 of those. Those have been really, really hard to get. We have 9091. That's a specific 1990-91. That's that guy right there. The difference is the input shaft. I'm not going to go into all this because we can do this stuff later. I do product videos all the time. But just take my word for it. This guy is super rare, and it's partly because of that guy there. The rest of these are actually the same, other than one is a external slave bell housing, one is an internal slave bell housing. These can change and swap over, so we can use one or the other on either one. Both of those super low miles. Steering gear boxes, that's where we're putting them for right now. Carburetors, alternators, all tested. AC pumps, starters, power steering pumps, fuel rails, cranks, heads, cylinder heads, good cylinder heads, brake boosters, hydro boost. We got a couple of those, and miscellaneous stuff. So that's those guys. Those are dust shields there, and you can probably get the hint. I have a encyclopedia of useless knowledge. I mean, it's useful to us, but sometimes I think about parts at nighttime. You can only imagine. And yeah, so here's our interior compartment stuff. So climate controls, turn signal levers, wiper motors, glove boxes, speedometers, gauges, seat belts. Let's see. These guys are the VAP canisters on pretty much all the way. You got the old ones, you got the new ones. Intake manifolds, those are the plastic ones. Those get brittle outside. You got Nerf bar or roll bar padding. Those are factory 03, 06. TJ, the trims for 03, 06 windshield frames. AC lines, yada, yada, yada. Console, more consoles, bezels, airbags, lots of airbags, covers, clock springs there. Again, all pulled from non-wrecked Jeeps. So you get the gist. We got a shit ton of stuff. Apologize my French, but no joke, we got a lot of stuff out here. I pretty much have it. If I don't have it, I usually know somebody that's got it. One of the big things I'm going to leave you with right now is we're in Colorado. Little known to a lot of people, we don't use salt on the roads here. What does that mean? That means we don't have rust-free, we have rust-free parts. We do not have rust on almost anything we buy. Every once in a while we'll buy something. This actually came in on trade. The guy was looking for a tub, and I traded him. He paid for cash, plus gave me this old rusty Jeep. So we can peel off some good things on it, but it's by and large not what I would go out and seek. Most of my stuff is rust-free, if not all of it. I would say 95% of this yard is going to be rust-free. In addition to that, what also sets us apart is as you look around, most of these Jeeps came in running and driving, or at least under their own wheels, meaning they were not wrecked. We do not buy salvage vehicles all that often. I do buy them occasionally, specifically when I'm going after a part like a harness or an ECM that's not going to be affected by a wrecked thing, especially on vehicles or Jeeps that are super hard to get certain parts on. And those harnesses are so hard that's usually what we'll do is go out and try to find a wrecked one and get it that way. And as long as we can it still says it runs, at least we can test those components. So, but as you can see, most of these Cherokees, they're square, meaning they're not hitting the front. There's a nice CJ5. A lot of our CJs come in like this. This guy here, I'm sure this is going to be over a gig. I'll have to probably decrease the size of this video and lower the quality somewhat just to get it all. There's a YJ, that one came in complete there. Again, non-wrecked vehicles. I got some CJs. I have a cool JK that just got in, 2-door, and it's already in parts. There's the shell of it over there. That was a non-wrecked one. We have a good core motor. Unfortunately, that one did have a rod knock. Did run, but it had a knock in it. So that's how you can tell we do our due diligence. We don't want to sell something, ship something, and have it come back. So every single large item I do, tubs, frames, engines, well, for the most part engines, but definitely my tubs and my frames, get videos on them prior to dismantle if they're still complete, like that guy there. And then a final dismantle video. So there's the two-door. We got a two-door JK hardtop right now. Two-door tubs. One's a 2015, so that'll work 12 to 18. And then we got a JK early 2007 that'll work 7 to 11. And then we have not very many YJ tubs right now. We have no CJ7 tubs. I have a couple coming in, but those go very quick. They're very expensive. They go so fast we don't even have time to list them. This YJ tub is sold already. Actually I have no YJ tubs pulled other than this one, and that one's already sold. That one's got a deposit on it. That's shipped out next week. We got 2 LJ frames or tubs at the moment, and possibly 1 frame on their way in. That's 1 LJ tub there, and then this guy here. Those are both listed on the site. We have a few TJ tubs left that are grade A. Most of the ones we have out here have some sort of damage on them, other than those 2 grade A's. You can see like a back corner, and those are discounted heavily. Got a couple windshield frame left and whatnot. Here's one of our shop projects. We bought a shuttle bus a couple years ago, just finished up, cutting it in half, making a little mini sleeper hauler. It's got an old 7.3 diesel 99, super cool. It's only got 100K on it. And then this is this bed that my buddy's been working on and made it way too complicated. I love him to pieces, so I'm not going to say anything other than that. But hopefully eventually we'll finish this guy so we can get back out on the road. We love doing these deliveries. One of our favorite things to do. And then let's see, another loader. That one works, just flat on the tires. It's not for sale. It's got forks on it. It's very crucial to have forklifts around here. We have backups all over the place. Got a Comanche out front. It's our shop truck. Run around the yard in. Got a nice tub that might be available for an old 65 CJ here soon. Couple YJ hard tops. And then that beauty, which is available, and I'm going to try to get it listed for sale. It's an Islander, I think it's a 92. We've had it for about a year and a half. Just put a lift on it. It's a 4.0 automatic, super rare. They're so rare to find, those Islander automatics. That one's just beautiful. Gonna get that posted, and potentially if somebody decides to buy it, which we have a couple people looking at it right now, I'll be dragging that out with us. So that would limit our space. But if I fill parts up before then the parts will go, and that goes later. Got a Buick 226 off-fire. I think it's 220 something. I think it's 226. Those Buicks, those are old Buick motors they put in Jeeps in the early 60s. Matching T14 behind it. This is that core I pulled out of that 07 this week. So this is the one with the rod knock. So we're going to get a good timing cover on it. It's super unfortunate. Only had 130K on the thing. So I got a good tranny. We drove that Jeep even with the rod knock. So we got a good automatic out of that guy. We got a good transfer case. That's the 241 non-Rubicon 241. And then we'll have a complete. We'll be able to look inside and make sure once we get it tore down that we didn't cause any further damage, or it didn't cause any damage. Hopefully we'll get a good crank, good cylinder heads. Hopefully the block's okay, can just be machined. And then again, that fancy little timing cover on the outside is the jewel of that thing. It's super hard to find. I have I believe 2 good 4-cylinders right now, 191 to 95, super hard to find right now. And I have a rebuilt one that the guy bought from Jasper, brand spanking new, never installed it. Spent $4,500 on this thing. Think we'll get that thing listed here soon for around $3,500, so you save $1,000 on that one. Still has a transferable warranty. Got an 87 to 94 cylinder. Those are hard to find right now. And we do have we believe is a running. We'll have to do a leak down on it to confirm that because the electronics were pulled on it. But looks like to be somebody did some performance things on it. I think that guy is a 360, maybe a 304. Let me look under here. Yeah, 360. Those have gotten to be next impossible to find. And that's it. So my 600 megabyte video is probably like 5 gigs. I'm gonna have to lower the quality quite a bit to get this to post on here for me. And I appreciate all the time. Definitely take a look at our website. Not everything we have out here is posted. It is absolutely as full-time as you can possibly imagine to run a Jeep yard like we do, with inventory and everything like we do. So we try to get it up. If you don't see your item listed, it could be listed and not be edited, which means it's hard to find, or B, it may just not be listed yet. I'm working on the axles to get them all up right now. Transfer cases are not all up right now. So just call us, 303-666-9020. You can instant message us on the website, partsbreakers.com. A lot of people like to do that. I can't always respond timely enough, so we'll say like a error message and tell you to call us. So if I see the message or I feel it vibrate, I'll get on there. Otherwise, your best bet is just to give us a call. Again, 303-666-9020. You can email me. I'm a little slower to email on emails. That's Jeremy, Jeremy, at partsbreakers.com. And then you can also Facebook us, of course. That's where we're posting this. I am very, very slow on Facebook. Calls are the best way to get a hold of us. So this is the little office area. Super cool. One more really neat thing we like to show off in here. This is our indoor area. All of our ECMs are stored in here and whatnot. We have our kind of our local area, but if there's something you see in here and you want us to bring it, we can do that. These items are not listed. So if you see something, you know, a carrier or and that's not a complete carrier, but there is a partial there, winch plates, suspension kits, whatnot. But that little guy, so that's a full Jeep, and it was an original Jeep. It was out of a 70, I think this is a 72. We got for an elderly gentleman that gave it to me for free, and he asked me, he was in his 90s, and he said, I've had this Jeep since it was brand new, and it had gotten hit on the right side back there, so we rarely cut tubs, but in this case, he said, would you do something like you did in Erie? In Erie, if you know that old yard, we had a Jeep literally posted on the top of our building. It's still there, actually. We weren't able to get it down when we moved, and so it sits where it is. But he asked us, would you do something cool like this with this Jeep? This was years ago. We had it sitting out back one January. It was super slow out, and we got together with a couple of guys, said, hey, it's slow on cells, super cold. Let's cut this thing up and see if we can make a desk out of it. So this has been in here for a few years and super neat. It came out. It's real sturdy. You know, there's some things we could have probably done a little better, but it for the most part, I think it came out pretty good. So, and again, Jeremy, 22 minutes of your life. If you watched the whole thing, hopefully you got to the end and enjoyed it. Otherwise, you can call and complain. You can reach me at 303-666-9020. I got a big grin on my face, so clearly that's not what I want you to do. But if you have any questions, comments, or need any parts, feel free to give us a shout. Thanks a lot.